Thank you so much for taking time to attend on the YouTube-based videos. We are here again at the Canvo launch. Today we have Benjamin shown a very interesting app he has launched. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much and welcome aboard to attend on the YouTube videos. I think for the benefit of our viewers, in short and brief, just introduce yourself to them and then we quickly run straight into the questions.
My name is Sean Benjamin. I am pretty much what I call a serial developer. I'm what you call a serial developer. I develop mobile apps, I develop websites. I call myself a serial developer because I make things for the sake of making
Hi, I'm Jablanko. I am Prince Sean Benjamin. We have developed together for quite a while. I come from startup in South Africa. I am a developer as well, developing for the tech startup in Zimbabwe called New Technology. We basically just develop web applications for business and consumers as well. Yeah, we'd love to know
Hi, my name is Malachi. I'm one half of Greendale Technologies. We are bringing you the Canvo app, and I mostly handle the marketing and PR side.
I think we can just throw questions on the floor. We have some questions that we need to know more about your app. Who's going to go the first question? Let's start with him over there.
So maybe let's just describe the app a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry?
Just going to give a brief description about the app.
Oh, so that was that. I'm coming outside. I'm going from outside. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, bring on that.
So the app that we launched today is called Canvo. Canvo is a social app. Basically what it does, or the problem that we realize is that amongst all, there are a lot of social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on these platforms people are sharing pictures with you every single day, and the feed is constantly moving. So a lot of the times, more often than not, people miss a lot of the images that are being shared with them on these social media platforms. So what Canvo basically does is, you log in with your Twitter, with your Instagram, and with your Facebook, with any of the social networks that you want to integrate with the app, and it pulls images from your feed that people have shared with you and puts them all into one place. Images from your Twitter, images from your Facebook, images from your Instagram.
Can you take it back to the home page on the screen page?
To the home page?
Yeah.
The one
back to the start, yeah.
Or to the start page?
Yeah, the start page and then you just come back. Yeah, same.
Okay, let me just go back there. Yeah, so it pretty much compiles all of your images and puts them into one place. And once all of your images have been put into one place, you can actually scroll through them in a very fun and interesting way. Basically, the way that it works is, it takes the images in the form of thumbnails, tiles them up on one whole page. If you want to scroll through the images, any swipe that starts with you going to the right, or starts with you going down, it's going to move forward. It's going to paginate to the next couple of images. So for example, if I scroll to the right, and if I scroll down, it's going to load the new images. Fortunately, our Wi-Fi is a bit slow. There it goes. And if I do the same thing, going up and going to the left, it's going to go backwards. It's going to scroll backwards to the previous images that were there. So you can actually pretty much refresh the entire feed just by doing that. Just with one finger going through, just with your thumb if you have a smaller phone. And if you're someone who's old school, someone who likes to use buttons, you can actually swipe to the left, use these left and right arrow keys to go forward and to go backwards. And of course, as you might have guessed, if you tap on the image, it's going to open a larger version of the image. And there we go. It's a picture of a friend of mine. An image that I probably may have missed if I wasn't using the Canvo app, because it would have sunk so deeply in my Facebook post. And another cool thing about the app, we have a camera feature where you can basically take photos, and similar to Instagram, you can actually add filters to the images that you have taken to make them look interesting, make them look more modern. Old school and modern at the same time, because that's the new modern look for images, right? By tapping these filters, applies a filter, tap on the tick, it It's going to start uploading the image, and then on the next screen, it's going to ask you to add a caption to the image. You can either add a caption or just leave it as it is. And just click on save. Once the image has been uploaded to the internet, it's going to show up on your feed immediately. Yeah. So in brief, that's what the app does.
I saw some 3 more extra buttons on the main menu. So you only main menu back on your app.
Okay.
You didn't say much about the other buttons yet.
Okay. So what the rest of these buttons do, I've shown you the camera button, the button to go forward, the button to go back. The button right at the top here, the Canvo logo, that's to load the images that have been shared on Canvo, including the images that have been shared on other social media platforms. If you tap on that, it will filter the images to show all the images around that you have on your social media platforms. If you tap on the Facebook icon, it's going to refresh the entire feed and then only show you images that have been shown on Facebook. We're going to do the same with Twitter in due time, because this is still the beta version, the initial version that we're releasing to some people to test out. So in due time, we're going to add Instagram, we're going to add Twitter as well to the list of buttons on the left. And the button over here, that's a refresh button. That's to force it to refresh. The app already refreshes automatically, but if you know someone has uploaded an image, you can actually tap on this button over here, then it's going to force the app to refresh and pull images again from everywhere and pile them up and start over.
So if I take pictures using the app, can I send that one picture to all of my social sites?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We could say that might be one of the main reasons why we have the camera feature on the app. It's not necessarily for you to take pictures and store them in Canvo, but for you to take pictures and store them and share them with other social networks, share them on your Twitter, share them
All my accounts.
on all of your accounts, And if any of your friends are fortunate enough to have Canvo, they can actually have the images that you've shared appearing on their feed as well.
So is it like split into like Facebook? In the end, you have updates from your friends, or that's like a later feature that's going to come with the app?
You mean split into Facebook and updates from your friends from?
Yeah, like you showed the new camera, like it's got that thing like it uploads and then it shows you that dialogue. So does it have like one particularly for the people you have who also have Canvo?
I understand what she's saying. The whole purpose of Canvo is to unify everything, bring everything into one place. But you can actually split it into different social networks by using the buttons on the left. If you only want to see images from Facebook, from your Facebook friends, you can actually just tap on the Facebook icon. It's going to filter only those images from Facebook.
Okay, it is an interesting application. I wanted to know security levels wise, right? You do have, you're talking Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you're having access to all those pictures coming in. On Facebook, you do have options to say, okay, people can see this collection of pictures. The other question with that question is, right, with my pictures, right, I've downloaded them from my social applications, right. Is there a way to streamline them, to say, okay, this have come from Facebook, these are coming from Instagram, or is it just a cluster of all the pictures that are related to your, I'm assuming at this moment, to your IDs from other social applications?
Wait, I don't think I quite understand. Are you saying when it comes to security, like
your archiving, right, of the pictures, right? Look at me as a basic user, right? I want the easiest possible way. Look, it's a brilliant app, right? But my question is, right now, okay, unfortunately I haven't had the opportunity to go through the application. But I'm saying the way I see it is they're just pictures, and when you stream, you go back. But I just want to know, like, is there a way to are your pictures, are they archived in a way where I can say, pictures from last month, pictures from yesterday, pictures, are you able to specifically look for pictures using maybe dates or using applications where they're coming from? Because from my understanding, you're getting pictures from different apps. So that's what I want to know. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible to filter pictures coming from specific applications. And well, let me just correct you before I answer this question. We are not archiving any of the images on the app or in our database. The only images that we are storing are the ones that you take with the camera, that you take with Canvo.
So we're not getting pictures from Facebook.
We're not saving the piece from Facebook because we're limited on resource, number one, and number two, that would be illegal. You can't take images from Facebook and store them anywhere else.
Okay. No, because sorry, I actually misunderstood the application. Because I thought like if somebody on Facebook loads up a picture and maybe you're tagged or something, then it comes down to it's downloaded to your application. That's what I thought it was. Yes.
Yeah, actually, yes, that's exactly what it does.
Yes.
When somebody loads a picture, they share it to you, it shows up on your Canvo. Now what we're saying is that our Canvo servers, they do not store your picture for you. This is a data visualization tool. It's able to stream your images and show them to you on the app. But that is not to say that we are storing your images. Your images, the security and all those things, they maintain your security.
I understand, but my question rather is more on the human interface side.
Yes.
It's not about the structure behind the system. You actually probably misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm a basic user. Right now I'm seeing a whole bunch of pictures on the screen. Right? At some point those pictures will be thousands and millions. Right? So my question is right now, are we able to say, okay, pictures from Facebook from today. Then I look through that. Oh, pictures, I mean, as a basic user that I am, I mean, it's something that I would love to have access to. So that I have some kind of system, managing my pictures. Because this is fantastic. Put pictures in, no effort, you're interested in the pictures, nothing else really, which is fantastic. But how do I know this picture is from when? And how do I know this picture, how do I go back and look for, do I just go through all the thumbnails until I find the pictures I want? Or can I actually search for pictures? I mean, how do you find the pictures and things like that?
Yeah, I think you're misunderstanding the whole concept behind Canvo. It's not about looking for pictures, specific pictures and finding them. It's about discovery. It's more about compiling recent images that have been shared with you, that you may have, coming from all of your social network platforms, that you may have missed out on. Because
I think maybe saying how recent do you actually capture? Like I think
what you're saying is that
the streaming is live. You get that part right. That like if somebody uploads a picture on Facebook or something, it'll automatically be streamed onto the app. So it's all about live streaming. As soon as somebody uploads a picture, you get to.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When it's streamed,
what if I want to go back to that picture? Let's say, so it's only like what's happening on the day.
Yeah.
That's what the app does.
No, it's not what's happening on the day, but
you can still go back.
It orders them by how recent the images are.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you really want to go through the images and maybe use the button and tap through and maybe go through the next 100 images, you can. But if you only want to go through the images from the past day or two, you still can't do that.
Oh, but the only way is just to scroll back. That's what it is.
To swipe across. It's not the only way. There's also the option to use those buttons to go to the next page. The back buttons. The back and forth buttons.
And what we're saying that when they stream from the social networks, from Facebook, whatever, Twitter, etc., when they stream into your Canvo, right, and you see all of your recent images, are they like categorized? Can you see that these have come from Facebook, these have come from Twitter, even though the forthcoming ones? That's why we was asking, I think, like that.
Yeah.
That can you tell they're in different categories? So you can see these ones were streamed from Facebook today, these ones were streamed from Twitter today, these are streamed from Instagram.
Oh, wait, I think you've got two questions. No, the first one is how are you able to tell, like what you just said? Are you able to tell that's from Instagram, that's from Twitter? That's the first question, right? Yeah. The second question being how far back can you go with the images, correct?
Yeah, well, my understanding was once the application has pretty much captured the picture for you, it would be able to sort of like keep the link for you, so whenever you need to have a look at that picture or whenever, you can always go back. But like you said, that it's only like for a period of time. And what is the period of time? I mean, what period does it keep the pictures? Like, is it 2 months going back, or is it 1 day? How does it work?
Yeah. The period of time that it keeps the images.
Yes.
So he's asking like how far back can it go? If you take a picture today, will you be able to, I mean, if you see it today on the item, will you be able to see it again next Monday? Will you be able to
2 months down the line.
Or 2 months, or 3 months. Or next year.
you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to understand.
So like, what's the capacity? How many
Because look,
pictures you can
as a user, I get addicted to your application. But look, okay, let's say there's some picture that's quite fascinating. Okay, one, can I, like at some point, a random time, can I go back and look for that picture and get it, you know? And two, you know, like, can I, is there an option to say, your favorite pictures, to say, you know, you come across pictures that are, you know, unique and fascinating to you, that you want to have quick access to them anytime. Some of them, let's say, maybe it's a cartoon, funny, you know, it's something you want close to you with your iPad or whatever. So when you're with your friends, you can just quickly get to it. You know what I'm saying? Is there features like that? I mean,
exactly. Well, that feature's already been added in by default because we didn't want to archive any of your images, but we can give you the option to download the image that you've seen. I don't know if you've seen the Facebook app or these Twitter apps. If you actually maybe double tap or highlight an image, you can actually, you're given the option to save the image in your phone. So it's not necessarily the Canvo keeping the image within Canvo, because Canvo is all about discovery. Once you discover the image that you like, you can actually save it into your own image library on your phone, outside of Canvo. Coming straight from Facebook, like the link will come from Facebook and save it, and you can store it on your phone. And the second question about filtering, knowing which images are coming from where. Yeah. If you saw what I was showing you the demo, if you swipe to the right, you get those icons on the left-hand side of the application. If you tap on one of those icons, for example, if I tap on the Facebook icon, it's only going to show images from Facebook within the application.
You got icons, sorry?
On this section, website.
Yeah, so it just refreshed now and showed me the images only from Facebook. Yeah, these are the icons on the left-hand side. We only have Facebook for now, but we only have the other ones. And because Canvo is about discovery, if you tap on the Canvo app, it's going to compile all of your images and bring them into one place. Where you can actually go through it.
So in other words, the answer to my question, yes, you filter pictures based on based on the source they're coming from. That's fine. And second, on the issue of time, it's irrelevant because you're saying when I get a picture, I have an option to save it. If I'm not interested, I let it go and wait for something new, a new picture to discover, something that will possibly make you happy.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is another question. I think it's just run through this.
I have two questions. The first one was, I think you've done your research obviously, and it took you time to do your application. So the first is going to be, on a scale of 1 to 10, how user-friendly is your application? And my second question was going to be, obviously it took you time and stuff, from you acquiring your information, seeing the different applications and stuff. How long did it take you to come up with this concept? Those are my two questions.
Okay, let's deal with them one by one. Can you ask me your first question again?
My first question is, obviously you've taken time to do your application and stuff. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how user-friendly is it? Because there's some applications that aren't user-friendly, you know, where I get bored just by opening the application. It's difficult to use and stuff like that. How user-friendly is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 9.9. On a scale of 1 to 10. Because we did our research when it comes to the whole feature of swiping to actually display images. It's actually more user-friendly than scrolling up or scrolling down because you interact with the actual image. So for example, you swiped and you really like those images that have been shown over there, but you want to go to the next one, you want to discover more. You can actually just continue swiping at the bottom, using your thumb. If you have a smaller phone, just using your thumb, and you can go on. It's easier than you know how Facebook does it, scrolling down. You're like, this guy was also at the party. Let me scroll back up and see if it's the same event in the other picture. You know, you keep everything that you want. You interact with each individual image by itself, not with the actual page.
Okay. From a user and developer point of view, I didn't work on the Canvo app, but I would say that on a scale of 1 to 10 for usability, I'll give it a solid 10. Simply because it implements gesture control. All of the controls and features on the Canvo app are completely purely gesture control. There are no hardware buttons or anything like that. It doesn't implement any form of scrolling. So when you're looking at the Canvo app, there is no hidden content at the bottom that you have to scroll down to get down to. You're seeing everything there. Use your gestures. You swipe to the right, you swipe to the left, upwards and backwards. All this stuff is also intuitive to us. You tap on an image to see the image enlarged. You tap on it and you hold it up for a prolonged period to get context menus on whether you want to save the image, archive it, or things like that. So it's purely gesture control, and also when you use usability, I actually asked about whether it gets boring to use. Personally, I think Canvo is very pretty. The UX, the design, and everything has been well implemented. It is a super friendly app to use. It is nice to look at, and I would use it all day.
Any more questions? And the second question was like, yeah, obviously you've used Instagram, you've used PicMix, those kind of applications and stuff. So my question was just, how long did it take you to come up with your concept of Canvo? Of
Canvo?
Yeah.
How long did it take to come up with the concept? I would say where it started, there was an app, a website actually called The Event that I was working on last year. I didn't launch it because it was a website and mobile applications started to take over and I was left behind because it took so long to work on it. So brainstorming around that website and trying to figure out ways to make the experience of going through your images a lot better. The concept just evolved. It's kept on changing. Changed from an application that has got tiles and it's got buttons at the bottom where you click next and backwards. But from using that, I found it easier to actually just swipe on the images. Because a lot of the times we use our thumb when we're using our smartphones anyway.
So when should we expect the next
update? Right now it's actually only on Android. The next update will be mid-January approximately, once we have the iOS and the Windows Phone version and the BlackBerry version completed and released into the App Store. Because I don't like the idea of releasing an app on one platform first, and then when someone sees the app on your phone, you can't share with them because they're using a different model phone, a different type of OS on the phone. I'd rather have it like just to everyone. And hopefully, it may be a bit tricky, but we might even launch a version for as long as the C3 if we have enough time.
So I'm assuming you have better graphics and a bit refined on the app, whatever, buttons and everything else.
This one is really just a beta version. I think I think Sean also made it clear when he was sharing it with people that we try to see how usable it is in the real world, because there's a difference between testing an app in the comfort of your own office or whatever, between 3 or 4 phones at home, and actually putting it out there in the real world. So what we were doing here is to try and get real people, to try it out during like a real experience and see how it goes from there. So yeah, my point being that it's still a beta version, but with all the bugs that some people have reported, we're going to work on all of that stuff, and then by mid-January, a much better and more refined app will be ready. And then that's when we'll have an official launch for the whole thing, for all platforms.
Do you have a specific plan to push it to the table?
To push it to the people,
the masses.
Well, like Sean was saying earlier, it's just 2 things that we're trying to focus on. We just want people to share it because it's useful to people. It's got good usability. Right? If it's an app, like I was saying earlier, the selling point of it is that it's very simple and very user friendly. And if you look at a lot of apps nowadays, they come out with good ideas, but because they're difficult to use, people won't share them. You might download it for one day, you're like, yeah, it's a good idea, but I can't see myself using this at a party or anything. Then you delete it or whatever. But with this app, it's very straightforward, very straight to the point, and it's something that you might want to continue using. And if you want to continue using it, you're going to share it with your friends. So yeah, the grassroots for us is that we just want people to share it because it works well and they can use it well.
And let me give you another scenario. That Sunday morning or that Saturday morning. That Saturday morning or that Sunday morning where you were at a party with your friends and you've been taking pictures, but your friends are uploading pictures to Twitter, they're uploading pictures to Instagram, they're uploading pictures to all over the place. We want it to be that app that you automatically just open up and start swiping, going through all of the images, trying to see which ones are interesting, saving them, sharing them. doing all those things.
Yeah, Canvo is going to make sense of your mess of pictures from all over the internet.
Yeah.
Put it all together and make it beautiful and easy to use.
Like Instagram and Twitter, if I want to see whatever you post, I have to follow. So if I want to see what pictures you post, what I have to do is I have to send a friend request or I have to just like follow.
Okay, well right now it doesn't have the follow feature. The server side itself, it makes sense of who your friends are by figuring out who your friends are on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. So to actually prioritize those images more than all the other images that are being shared by everyone else. Yeah, in future, if we see that it's not really working out, I think we might actually add a follow feature or
So in other words, basically just make sense of the accounts you already have on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You just have to log in with either one of those accounts.
So how much will this cost if you want to use the app?
The app is for free. It's like 100% free to use. We just want people to start using it and
mind that's what it is.
yeah.
Privacy. Okay. Us guys recording, right? Your girlfriend made Danny Canvo. When we go to a party, my girlfriend's not here. I'm partying with other people. She's got camera. I upload my pics. Can I just pick her out? Not to see those pics from last night's party. Please, guys. I might not download them.
Okay, question for that. Is your girlfriend or your friend on Facebook?
Yes.
And are you uploading that picture on Facebook?
No, it's just camera.
She is not going to see that picture on Facebook. If she's not going to see the picture on Facebook,
Then she won't see it on camera.
then she won't see it on camera.
Exactly. So we may actually say we're one of the most secure, one of the most discreet platforms if you want to be discreet, because we're piggybacking off other people's security by not storing your images.
Any other burning question?
No.
Because of time.
Yeah, and right now, do you have any other plans for like improving or increasing the feature set within the app?
Yeah, we've got a lot of plans.
Despite the Twitter and the Facebook.
We've got a lot of ideas, but we want to come up with a minimum viable product first. See what people like about it. Get analytics data, see what features people are using, and etc. And then build the next features of that.
Yeah. I'll add to that. If I've been working with Sean a bit, and I've noticed Sean is a do-it guy. He doesn't go out to explain to you an app that he's working on or whatever he's going to do. He shows you when it's done, and then he asks you, what do you think about this? So the idea is that even before this app, I didn't know much about this app before the release. It was just ideas. He was just telling me stuff that he's already done. So what we're doing is, we want to emphasize this is a beta version, and we want you to continue giving us feedback on what you think. He has opened up all of his social accounts for everybody to connect and give to you feedback. You have your phone number, his email address, the website for Canvo, his Twitter account, his Facebook account, continue to give you feedback. And then once he makes sense of all of that feedback, we have a beta version that considers all of those things. So please guys, continue to give us your feedback. Continue to tell us what you think about the app right now, where it says so far, what features you